How's everybody doing? Drake here.
Gypsy.
We are two hoodies. And we're going to be doing some music video reactions, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of different things. But we're taking each other down different journeys. So I'm introducing her to someone that I've been trying to get her into, and that's Tom MacDonald and Nova Rockefeller and the Hangover Gang. So if you're Hangover Gang and you're watching this, comment below on some where the journey should go next. We're doing People So Stupid first because that's the first song I saw by Tom and the first video. And yeah, and then she's going to take me down a journey that I have no idea where it's going to lead. It should be quite interesting. So, but we're going to talk more during the video. We're going to stop and have a conversation about it. And yeah, we're going to get right into this. Unless you have anything to say.
You forgot Nova.
Oh, yeah, it's two hoodies and three cats.
This is Nova.
And that's Nova. There's two more
two
back there. I don't know if you can see them.
They'll make cameos.
They'll definitely all make cameos as we go along. All right. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
People So Stupid.
I like it already.
I'm going to tell you the beat in this is fantastic.
All right.
Hi! I'm praying that the world changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me too. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to...
Damn it, I'm 41.
So
Triggered.
he's triggered. He starts with...
She's just like, what the hell? This isn't in the script.
Yeah, she's like, what's going on here? And one thing, while we're going, I'm going to back this all the way back up because this is one of those tracks that you're just not prepared.
No.
And the scroll down the middle that's normal on a news station that gives you information about this, it's giving information about him and what's going on, and it is priceless. But there's too much to unpack from that first bit there, so I think we'll just do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Run it back.
Yeah.
Hi! I'm praying that the world changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me too. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now,
Right. I mean, that right there. Just, I mean, we grew up watching South Park.
18 seconds
I know,
in.
like,
18 seconds.
Crazy.
Like half, but you look at all those different like Adult Swim cartoons that are so politically incorrect.
Even SpongeBob.
All of it is just so wrong on so many levels. When you go back to like Scooby Doo back in the day,
Yeah.
and I love Scooby Doo, and I mean
Looney Tunes,
and
like
all
Bugs
the
Bunny,
like, underlying messages and
the violence and everything
somehow,
that was all in it, and that's okay,
but
you can't have an opinion.
Oh, and you definitely cannot have an opinion in
Shame
today's.
on you.
Yeah, right. But we've only 18 seconds in.
I'm here for it.
now being fat is beautiful.
Wait a minute. I should back that up. I was breaking my own rule here. Here we go.
The kids who went to Hooters after school. We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cool to just flip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion.
So pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shade that's right.
Right.
It's like, it's getting to the point where, if you're white, you are just really, you
like,
might.
Just like anybody, you can't help what you look like.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's where we were talking before
it's
we
genetics.
started. We
Like,
started before we talked about the fact that the race issue is so tired, and that nobody has control. There are certain, there are traits that everybody is born with that are predetermined based on your parents' DNA and on a molecular level that you cannot control under any circumstance.
Why should we be persecuted for that?
Yeah, and then at this point,
not just white.
Most of these issues are taught. You don't just wake up one day and you're like, I don't like you because of the color of your skin, or I don't like you because you're fat. I don't like you because you're too skinny. I don't like you because you have gray in your beard, or you have a beard,
or you have blue hair,
or whatever, or But these are things that have to be taught.
Right.
That means somebody, either you saw as a child, you watched or saw this, or somebody influenced
it was a failure to not correct it,
or you were watching, or you were left alone to your own vices, and you didn't have the proper parental supervision to explain. And that's a big problem right now, is that we have parents that have checked out. That
they expect that you send your kid to school and they're going to teach you everything, and that's not what it was ever intended for.
Not to mention now, most of the schools now,
it doesn't even.
They don't even. They're producing
tests,
meat robots.
Yeah, it's just you go in, they teach you to pass a test.
Flesh
and
robots.
That's it. They give you no actual anything.
Yeah, you get like nothing of value.
World applicable.
Do you realize that currently they don't teach? When I was in school, they at least would teach you about bank accounts and how to balance a checkbook.
Right.
They don't even do that now. They barely have accounting classes.
Yeah.
They don't teach you budgets.
No.
They don't tell you how to take this amount of money and then how you have a month or a 30-day or a 2-month or a 3-month or a 6 month.
Yeah, we used to learn about the stock market. Yeah, they don't all of that. Like I remember in middle school.
They don't educate any of that at all. You have to go find that out. You're better off looking at all that on your own.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along.
Christian, I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better.
I'm stopping it there. I'm going to play it back to that, but we're not going to talk about that.
No.
We're not going to talk about that. I just to let that sink in. Because I have friends that are on both sides of that, and it's just to get you. Tom's here to make you think.
Right.
He's not here to piss you off. He's here to. He does ruffle feathers, and he got a lot of flack for this video.
Oh, I'm sure.
A lot, and he's not done yet.
Right.
We're still only 44 seconds. We're not even a minute into the song. All right.
Heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird.
Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb.
I'm a hater because I can't relate to gay pride.
That chorus. Get better issues because we're going to run out of tissues.
Right.
People so dumb. I mean, and then again, the scroll. Yeah. People so dumb, people so boo-hoo, wah-wah, get better issues, we're going to run out of tissues.
Yeah. I love it.
It's simple, but it's so on point.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
I'm a hater because I can't relate to gay pride. Call me homophobic because I don't want to date guys. K-tight. I, for one, am not surprised the world declined along the way. Give trophies to children for losing just because they decide to play. We exercise our right to vote and hate the politicians. Ay, this is a democracy. It's partly your decision. Ay, this is weird. Feels like this a different year. If I identify as a female, then when my balls and penis disappear. Children want a gender switch and hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety are trendy. We're too sensitive. Invented 80 genders.
Oh, the topic he's in right now is something we were talking about earlier.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy, the points he makes. And I stopped it too soon. So we're going to let it play through and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And hate the politicians. Ay, this is a democracy. It's partly your decision. Ay, this is weird. Feels like this a different year. If I identify as a female, then when my balls and penis disappear. Children want a gender switch and hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety are trendy. We're too sensitive. Invented 80 genders. Mad the world is not accepting it. Then gave them more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction. Being human is.
Think about that. Right now, the minority, the vast majority of people do not fall into these little spots that we had talked about earlier.
Right.
With pronouns and different identification on gender and all this, which
your orientation.
And where that is concerned, everybody is their own person. They make their own decisions. They can
do what you
do whatever they do.
If
and
you want to identify as a soda can, congratulations, you're aluminum. But
the point he made there is that it's getting out of control.
It is.
It's to the point where, like you say, you created 80 genders where normal men and women have zero attention.
Right, which is kind of what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like, where, they have a all-inclusive, like, bracket now for the gays, lesbians, trans, LGBTQ, all that.
They've added some new letters that I'm not sure what all that is.
Yeah, I'm not either. But, and that's all fine. But, if it's all-inclusive, that should include
everybody
being straight.
You would think it would.
So.
But I think they've done it in a way that the majority and everything is slanted towards straight society, which is why you have male bathrooms and female bathrooms.
Right.
And you have male sports and female sports.
Right.
And so they've done this in a way because they are a minority right now.
Right.
And you've seen all these things going on with the government and all this other stuff.
And call yourself an all-inclusive group
if you're not including everybody.
Exactly. Like,
and I
don't get it.
And a lot of the topics that the society is talking about now, you got these politicians arguing about if men that identify as women should be able to be in women's sports, and on the other side as well, and all these different aspects of it. And it has been brought up that why don't you just make another set of sports that includes whoever wants to be involved in it.
Right, like almost like a co-ed.
Yeah, like just create it where it's there, and that way you're not in front. Then you have the one side, the other, and then you have this other, and you could have three.
Right.
I don't think anybody would have a problem with it, and I think in some cases you would have people in the other two that would move into it to.
Exactly.
Because I mean, back in the day, do you remember when they had the Michael Jordan and Mia Hamm commercials?
No.
Do you know who they are? You obviously know who Michael Jordan is.
Yeah.
So do you know who Mia Hamm was?
No.
All right, Mia Hamm was the first female soccer player for the U.S. that really pushed the boundaries and put the U.S. women's national team on the map. Mm-hmm. They won all these deals. She was one of the top-rated goal scorers of all time, even among men. Mm-hmm. And Michael Jordan and Mia Hamm had these commercials where they would run around, and they were Nike commercials, but they would do whatever, and the song that would play is "I Can Do Anything You Can Do Better."
Uh-huh.
And they would compete with each other. Right. Well, it would have been interesting to see Mia play against some of the best men.
Right.
To really see where she ranked up.
Right.
Because currently they've had.
But it would have to be not a forced thing.
Right.
Like,
it would have to be.
That's where people have a problem is because it's forced. It's being forced upon. But like,
it had to be something
said,
that.
If it was okay, say like they do in football, you get all of the best players,
like the All-Star games,
right? And you all converge, whether it's male, female.
You could
trans,
do an all-star.
whatever.
You could do all-star deals with men and women and intermix them to co-ed on both sides and let them compete that way. And then you could have anybody in there and it wouldn't matter.
Right, and I'm like, I agree with you because it pushes you to do better.
100%.
Female and male. It doesn't matter.
All right, let's back this up now.
So, yeah.
But that's just, like,
two people's opinions.
This video, this should have a trigger warning.
Yeah.
It should.
The more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction. Being human is so tragic.
But you were laughing at the scroll?
Yeah, it just said more opinions reported.
Hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety are trendy. We're too sensitive. Invented 80 genders. Mad the world is not accepting it. Then gave them more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction. Being human is so tragic.
She's just
on
like
minorities, ignoring all the masses. Hallelujah, everyone. Activism saved the planet. No more plastic straws and paper. Just paper straws wrapped in plastic. Congratulations.
y'all so stupid? Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them, y'all so dumb. People so stupid, people so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues, it's so dumb.
Look, I get it, it's like the world is going crazy. Seems like a school shooting happens almost daily. The racism, rape culture, hatred that we're facing is way too ingrained for our hashtags to change it. We've become so lazy and complacent, afraid of our generation. We think activism's Instagramming memes and complaining. It's a problem when there's actually...
That's a huge issue right there.
Yeah. With the schools.
It's this. I mean, you have school shootings, you have all these issues, but the number one way to deal with it is to get on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or wherever else and start a platform for it and champion it there. But that's just people sitting in a room like we are,
right,
having conversations, but it changes absolutely nothing.
Right.
Like, you might get a bunch of people that agree with you and they're all like rattling their sabers.
Right.
But there's nothing changes.
Right. And that, in my opinion, comes down to there needs to be a huge shakeup as far as the people that run this country. You know, term limits and all of that. Like, our government seriously needs a huge overhaul. And the way that we view and deal with and treat people with any kind of mental illness, that needs a huge reform as well, because it's almost like he said, it's almost, you know, glamorous now to have anxiety or have depression or this or that or the other, and that takes away from the people that are actually struggling, that are actually dealing with PTSD and don't have the support systems in place or in their lives or even in their towns, or they don't have access to it. I mean, it's terrible. Like, the infrastructure of our country is what is choking us to death. Like, and
that's what I think you're going to really enjoy, this rabbit hole with Tom MacDonald and Nova Rockefeller, because Tom deals with mental illness and talks about those topics, but Nova, she is.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
100%.
Love the tattoos, by the way. The tattoos are fantastic, but I do not get the black eyeballs. That's a little weird.
So he does the black. So in some of the videos, he does the black contacts to kind of, because he's doing like Demon Tom, and not saying Demon Tom, and he's not possessed or anything, but it's
a character that he's portraying.
Yes, and he does it in multiple videos.
I got you.
If you see the black, that means that he's either about to go crazy, or there is some information coming that...
Trigger warning.
Yeah.
That's just trigger warning right there.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, when we get into some of the other videos, he's got the topics that you're hitting on. That's about 90% of what him and Nova both deal with. And that they both are not afraid to talk about what they've dealt with and what they've overcome.
Right.
To help other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Where most people are like, oh, I can't let anybody know that I had this problem. I don't want anybody to know that, because
we're going to be
different.
Even if you go back, like, you know, in the last year, 2-3 years, who was it? DMX, rest in peace, came out that he was dealing with his own set of mental issues or mental illness issues. I think it was, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was multiple personality disorder.
DMX had multiple personality disorder?
Yeah, and it was either that or bipolar, or it was a mix of the two, but within the next year, he had unalived himself. Because even having all of that money, having all of that fame and all of that, nobody, like, I mean, it's very alienating. Because people only want to be around you at that point for your money.
It's funny, all the topics that you're bringing up while we watch this video are topics that Tom has identified and talked about in songs. Yeah.
It just, you know, like I said, we need to pay more attention to each other and take better care of each other.
Yep.
A lot of the times people aren't wanting you to fix their problems. They're not wanting your opinion or your feedback. They just want somebody to listen. Because 90% of the time, when somebody comes in, they're like, "Hey, man, I just need to talk. I just got to get this out."
Yeah.
They're just gonna work through it on their own if you just let them talk, just let them get it out. But so often people are just like, "No, I don't have the time," or they want to be fixers. Look, I don't need you to fix my problems.
I've been there. I've been that fixer person before.
Right.
Until I realized for a while that
the only person you can fix at the end of the day is yourself.
That's
it. And that's a hard, big, humongous pill to swallow.
Because a lot of times...
Because we are conditioned to, oh, you got to help them, and you got to do this for them, or you got to do that. And it's guised as having manners, but there's an overstep at some point.
And it's difficult to get to a point where you realize that the only person that you have control over is yourself.
Right.
And that is a part, that's something that that's not taught.
Right.
And a lot of people think that, well, you have to do this because what you're doing or saying, I don't like what you're saying,
right.
So it's hurting my feelings, so you're not allowed to say that.
Right.
Or I'm emotionally unstable today, and I can't deal with you, so you just cannot be here.
Right.
And that's not the way the real world works.
No, it's not.
And people aren't just going to check out because of your schedule.
Right.
And sometimes you might need a personal day, and you might need to stay home and deal with
right.
it. But sometimes you need that person that you can talk to, or somewhere you can
right.
go, or a safe place where you can bounce off a wall without being judged for it. And
right.
I think that's a big part of the problem right now is you have a lot of people out there that are afraid to open up because they are afraid of how they're going to be judged.
Exactly.
And they're afraid they're going to be put in a corner and not be acceptable
or they're going to
anymore.
be locked away, or,
it's less about locked away and less about not accepted.
Or just given a bunch of pills and say,
alienated.
just hush, and
Yes.
this, that, and the other. But I do want to touch on the fact that a big step was taken, and I think it was last year, that they did come out, and I believe it's 988. So instead of dialing 911 for your standard emergency, you can dial 988 if you are in a crisis as far as your mental health. So there is that, and it's national. They just rolled it out last year. So if there is anybody listening that is struggling, or nobody knows anybody that's struggling, it's 988.
Is that like star 988?
Nope, it's just 988. Just like you would call 911.
Gotcha.
And it just puts you on the line to an operator. You can do it completely anonymous. Yeah, they're not going to send people to your house. It's nothing like that. It's just somebody on the other end of the line that can help connect you with resources in your area if you so choose, but they can also just be there to listen. So that is a good step for America in the right direction, but they have dropped the ball on getting that information out there. So
they drop the ball on a lot of things.
They do.
And I apologize for yawning. I'm not bored. I just had a long day.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right.
Look, I get it, it's like the world is going crazy. Seems like a school shooting happens almost daily. The racism, rape culture, hatred that we're facing is way too ingrained for our hashtags to change it. We've become so lazy and complacent, afraid of our generation. We think activism's Instagramming memes and complaining. It's a problem when there's actually actions you could be taking, but you're triggered, so you just cry like a baby.
Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo. Wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb.
So, so the girl in this video is his sister.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that's his actual sister.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
She's just like, just leave. But I really dig his message, and of course it's sick beat. Like, you can get into it, you can jam out to it. I like what he's putting down.
Yeah, it's so the first song he did that really kind of broke him was a song called Dear Rappers. Mm-hmm. Where it was like an open letter to the rap industry, and he didn't get a lot of love for it.
I bet.
But it woke a lot of people up.
Right.
And
Maybe we'll cover that.
he spends a lot of time talking about how the rap industry really doesn't like him. And he's a big Eminem fan. Mm-hmm. He loves Eminem, although they're on opposite sides of the what's going on spectrum. Although he really identifies with Eminem because he feels like he is this current generation's Eminem. Mm-hmm. Like he's saying the hard things that nobody else will say.
Right.
And he's
very controversial.
He's pissing people off, and he's
right.
wanting to just flip you off, and doesn't really care when he'll say anything and doesn't care.
Right.
Now, it's not that he doesn't care what you think. He's saying what he's saying because he wants you to think.
Right.
At the same time, he's not just saying stuff for shock value. He's saying things that need to be said to get you to stop and think.
Right.
About. That's like the one thing about the one topic on there where it's like, you know, bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth. Mm-hmm. Weird. And they just say,
yeah,
and
that's enough.
Yeah, that's all you need. You really don't even, that's a topic that there's too many divisions and there's a lot of issues there.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Everybody has their opinion on it. And I don't want to get into an opinion deal on that. Or those topics are things that have been debated for since before I was born.
Right.
And they're going to be continued to be debated for time to come. So that's not why we're here.
I think, taking what I know and what I've seen and in my journey through this life is a lot of the times, again, most people just need somebody to get it off their chest. But as well as people need to remember to actually listen and not just wait for their turn to talk. As well as if you just take 3 seconds, just 3 seconds before you open your fucking mouth and say something, we'd be doing a lot better as a country. Yes.
So just a little something here real quick. This is video number 1 of a journey with no end in sight. So welcome aboard if you're here. And when you get here, thanks for coming.
Yep.
And like we said earlier in this video, I'm taking her down the Hangover Gang rabbit hole. So we're going to be investigating Tom MacDonald. We're going to do Nova Rockefeller. We're going to be looking at Mad Child. We're going to look at Adam Calhoun. We're going to be looking at Brandon Hart and some offshoot individuals that I've found because of those people. It's interesting too because of the reactors that I've watched and some of the experiences I've watched them go through. It's kind of helped me decide that we've been talking about doing this for a while. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure what you have in store for me. That should be interesting. There's also some other music that we like generally together and some bands that I've introduced her to that we've seen in concert, but some video work that I really want her to see because it just gets you to a different respect level. So we're gonna branch out. Now, the one thing I need to pre-warn you on, I don't know how much reaction stuff you've looked at or been around with, there is copyright strikes. Mm-hmm. So the upside to the Hangover Gang and the Tom MacDonald camp is they have given permission up front to use their videos.
Right.
They're generally not too big on people dissing them. Now, if you have a legitimate issue with something they're saying and it's in context and you have a difference of opinion on a topic, that's one thing. Right. But when you're attacking
bashing,
there's no reason for that.
We're not going to do that here. Anyway.
I'm introducing Gypsy to somebody that I have the utmost respect for, and I would consider myself a member of Hangover Gang, and I'm a big fan.
Right.
I bought merchandise, I bought CDs.
Right.
If they came anywhere near this place, I would definitely go see them.
Right.
So,
but yeah,
we're gonna check out for now. Comment below on what you want, where you want us to go with the journey for Gypsy, and the next video we're gonna post will be a video where Gypsy is turning the tables on me, and we've got a bunch of stuff planned. So she also has a TikTok. Do you want to talk about that?
No,
not right now.
Later. Yeah.
Later. All right. So we both have other things going on. We'll bring that out later. But thanks for joining us, and We got to get this whole video thing down to a science. I'm not quite there yet. But thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon.